Welcome. Thanks for attending this session on building on top of travel in the age of AI. Let me know on the chat if you can't hear me clearly. So today has been around building AI travel experiences, and I hope you'll see something very exciting in the next 15 minutes or so. Whereas a lot of companies are now focusing on building their travel-related experiences, we as Nuitée, we come into place to make these experiences possible. So some just quick intro about me. I'm Nick, Director of Engineering at Nuitée. I've been working in low-code and no-code for more than a decade, although I must be honest, the last couple of years have been fundamentally changing how we do things because of all the innovation in AI. Like building is now a new scale where it's more about the idea, the business model, where your customers are, more than how long it takes to develop and ship a product, because of tools like Cursor, agentic workflows, and so on. I have a couple of slides to go through to give you some context, and then we'll jump into a live demo to get a sense of the tools that we have in place. Let me just go to the next slide. Okay, so at Nuitée, we make travel open and programmable. So we are like an infrastructure company that makes this possible through a lot of easy-to-use tools for any type of business. So in a sense, we democratize travel to everyone to empower any kind of business to build on top of it in the same level that, for example, AWS has democratized cloud infrastructure many, many years ago without needing you to buy your own servers. And these APIs, they're like building blocks that you can piece up together to deliver amazing travel experiences to your customers without having to worry about the complexity of what's going on behind the scenes when it comes to, for example, like supply, data normalization, good content, and lots of the other challenges that I believe we have solved as a business. So historically, this has been very impossible. It's been like a very challenge on travel, probably either due to like legacy technology in place or not having access to inventory like content and rates for properties, collecting payments, and so much more. Especially if you're like a new like small business, these things are very tricky and difficult to get access to. But probably you have seen in recent years how other industries have been evolving and they became more open and programmable, like open banking, communication. Stripe, Twilio, for example, they're like great examples on how nowadays you don't need to worry about the hurdles of, for example, having to make like a contract with a carrier to deliver like an SMS to your customers, or you just need to collect payments, like without getting crazy. We also know the customers are moving to ChatGPT and other tools to buy anything in travel, as we have heard in the earlier sessions. So now I think we are at the right moment in time, the frontier of making this possible. So that's where we step in as like a travel technology company that makes you build on top of travel without having to go through the hurdles of building on top of travel. So then we orchestrate what's behind the scenes, right? So our mission is to like solve these challenges, making it available for everyone. And we made, and for that matters, what we made is we made open APIs, we made analytics, dashboards, SDKs for developers, payment components, and other, like MCP servers, for example, for agentic workflows. And we made a white label where you can launch with just a minute, low-code widgets too, webhooks, integrations with NA10, and so much more. We also work and integrate with OpenAI, with Gemini, with Anthropic, Cursor, and all the tools that you are familiar with. And just a couple of weeks ago, we had our second hackathon at Google, where developers joined us to build products on top of our system in less than a day. And it was crazy, like lots of them, they used AI tools like Cursor, Lovable, Gemini, and they managed to deliver incredible experiences that launched within the hackathon and even made some real bookings during the event, which was extremely exciting to see during live presentations that they were presenting the product and they were already like having some bookings by some friends when they launched like the website. We also have other developers that are building like quite complex agentic workflows on platforms like NA10 that I think you have seen in earlier this morning to deliver integrations that I think just a couple of years ago would have been impossible. And I believe we're just at the beginning of it. So rather than just waiting for the next big travel company to cannibalize the market, I believe we have a huge opportunity to empower these businesses to innovate and disrupt the space. So right after the demo, you can sign up on like nuitée.com. I think a link is being shared on the chat just now, and you can start like integrating travel right away, hack on top of the platform and access more than 2.6 million properties that we vet through content, and then you can see, explore what's possible behind the scenes. Just very briefly, because before we go into the demo, today I will be showing you our programmable APIs for the demand side, but our product suite is more broader, and it ranges from hotel and room mapping products, which if you're familiar with travel, you know that these are like quite fundamental problems in the industry that we have solved through AI as well. You know, like hybrid models that use like LLM to do like mapping at scale, to booking engines and smart distribution from the supply side as well. So I will be focusing on distribution because I think it's more engaging, but it's just to say that there's a little more beyond it. So I hope that by looking at the website, you can explore more about what we have in place. So for the demo today, I will be showing you the tools that an AI influencer recently used to build his product and launch it within just a couple of days. It didn't have to go through negotiating rates, provisioning infrastructure, coding, or anything like that. He basically just went through the website, signed up, developed something with the API, launched a white label, and then launched it on Google Hotel Center as well. And he just started basically making money on top of it. So I'm just gonna share through the slides, hopefully, sorry, the live content. Yeah, hopefully that comes through. So I want to just give you like a quick glimpse at the developer documentation, so then you understand what are the technologies and how easy it is for building travel. So again, we made like an API that is fully accessible and open by everyone in the same way that when you go on Slack, Twilio, Stripe, and all these sites, you will get access to basically understanding how you should integrate. You know, for example, we have a booking workflow where you select hotels, you fetch rates, you make it like a checkout workflow, and then you book. So very, very simple. And we made payment SDK so then you can integrate travel without getting crazy. And we have like partnership with Stripe as well for this integration. And then we have a bunch of APIs where you can essentially like consume all the content using like simple REST APIs. You can even ask AI these to ChatGPT or your other tools, and you can ask to integrate these within the tool of your choice. Just as an example, if you copy these and paste it into Lovable, you can build a fully functional OTA within like minutes, which I think it's a testament of how the industry is changing these days. Like you don't need to build a SaaS or a PaaS or like a B2C product in months. You just basically need to just have the idea about it, you know, rather than just having to invest like months into development for the resources. When it comes to, for example, components, we have like SDKs for developers and engineers of any kind. We have an hotel list widget as well. We have like a map widget as well that you can integrate within like a couple of lines of code. And this, I think, is great when you need like mixed hybrid experiences where you don't want to rely too much on the end user technology, but you need to understand how to piece this up together. Like you maybe need to do some integration from your side, and then you can rely on some others from our side. When it comes to the white label, I want to give you a sense of what this developer, for example, made before going to like dashboard as well. So this is like the end product that they launched. So they built, it's called like Zello.com that they launched. And I asked the other day, like, can I just demo this? Because I think it's like a crazy idea that you came up with this like random name, you just publish it and you started making money on top of it. So again, they built a fully functional travel site where they branded it, and then they have access to our supply. They can also bring their own supply in that case, but you know, just to get started, they don't have to go through the hurdles of getting their own supply and negotiating rates on their own site. Now, we heavily use AI for empowering these businesses. So for example, on this one, on the hotel page, let me just scroll top. You can see that, for example, we use generative AI to make videos from still images of the hotels. We label images, we make them searchable with semantic search. So people can search by I want a romantic getaway in Paris for 2 people where the room has no carpet. You know, you can really get quite creative with the level of searches that you can do nowadays. For example, there's like smart highlights that we have available through the API, where you can bring the context of the customer. Imagine like a family of 4 with 2 kids stranded somewhere, that you want that context to be part of what hotel or property they're looking for. And similarly, we summarize reviews with AI. AI is great at summarizing reviews and giving us like a glimpse of what is great about this hotel, what is not great about this hotel. Amazon, for example, is doing this now for products as well. So you have seen this happening throughout, I think, the industry, other industries as well. For example, let me just go to this other tab that I have opened, where I can show you, for example, in here, we're using AI to tell you when prices are cheaper, or when it's most likely that prices will be cheap at this hotel. And we also have like enhanced like imagery when it comes to hotels. So we just like skim through with AI through what is great about this place, and then we prioritize these images rather than maybe like a toilet, for example. So we first managed to get like what's best about this hotel when it comes to it. Similarly, as customers can integrate travel in any experience, they can do like a ChatGPT integration, and maybe they want to get to this page, or maybe they want to get to the checkout page, so they don't have to worry about the checkout. So we made like a checkout page as well. Sorry, actually, I just navigated away from it. Give me just a moment. I'm just going to be going back there. Apologies about it. So I was about to say, we made like a checkout page where they can deep link, they can even integrate their own other modulars. So for example, on this one, they have enabled like Uber vouchers that they can add as ancillaries on top of the checkout experience, or like an eSIM provider, and it has been integrated with like Stripe. So then you also have accessible payment with Google Pay and a bunch of other like providers as well. Just very briefly, as we're running out of time, I want to get you like a sense of what's behind the scenes. Developers have access to like a fully fledged like dashboard where they get to see how much money they're making. This is, for example, is from the actual developer, that has been launching the product just last month. They can see how much commission they're making. They can see on the earnings. They get automated payouts automatically to their bank account through our platform. They can fully manage commission and markup that they want to add on top of their rates. So for example, they can say, okay, I want to optimize. I want to see what opportunities I have to make like a much better markup for these hotels. So the platform comes with like a bunch of like I would say technologies and features that are fairly fundamental, I think. If you go to Stripe, you will see that Stripe also like it's relatively advanced when it comes to giving you all these technologies. So again, we wanted to make something that is built for the future, very modern for any engineer to build on top of travel, making sure that they focus on their business rather than having to focus on the actual travel piece itself, because we believe that travel is going through this fundamental shift, and we want to make sure that everyone can be part of this, rather than having maybe the companies that have been part of this for the last 20 years. So I think that's a great time to be alive in the travel space, and I really hope that everyone will manage to get their hands dirty on Lite API and our products, and try to get the most out of these products that we're making. So, and I'm gonna check if there's any Q&A just in case. Yes, on usage per booking or per seat, we have different like pricing options, but the most common one for the small companies that are building is going to be like a booking fee. So then the platform is like free to use, and then they will be getting charged just a small commission on top of what they make. Let me just check if there's anything else. Thank you to my colleague Leila that has been answering some of these. I really appreciate that. And for the accommodations, they're sourced from dozens of different suppliers. So we, as a technology provider, we normalize and aggregate all this data for you, so you don't really have to be really checking yourself, like, is these facilities not up to date with what I get from supplier A, B, C, D? So again, we make these accessible to everyone without having to be worried about what is happening behind the scenes. Although for enterprise customers, they're able to bring their own supply, then bring their own contracts. And I believe Australia, we do have supply in Australia. I think we have supply in probably most countries. I think maybe I edit in my slide. I'm just going to check if I edit in my slide, but I think we probably had 150 source markets. There you go. Yeah. So I'm assuming Australia should be among those. Yes. Okay. If there's no other questions, then I'll lead the stage to the next one. I think we have a couple of minutes left. And thanks everyone for today.